Company on behalf of the Waterways Council from Houston, Pennsylvania. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Chairman DeFazio, Chairwoman Napolitano, Ranking Member Westerman, and members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to testify before you today. My testimony will focus on the importance of the Inland Waterways Transportation System and the Inland Waterways Trust Fund. I currently serve as Chairman and CEO of Campbell Transportation Company, headquartered near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm also the Chairman of Waterways Council. Waterways WCI is the national public policy organization that advocates for a modern and well-maintained system of waterways and ports. Our inland waterway transportation system consists of 12,000 miles of commercially active inland waterways, on which nearly 600 million tons of products move annually, representing a value of over $220 billion. About 400 commercial operators currently pay a 29-cent per gallon diesel fuel tax that is deposited into the Inland Waterway Trust Fund. Users of the system successfully advocated in support of raising our tax by 45% in 2015, from 20 cents to 29 cents per gallon. This tax currently generates about $115 million a year and pays for up to half the cost of new lock and dam construction, major rehabilitation, and channel deepening. Since the enactment of Water Resource Development Act of 1986 through 2014, the Inland Waterways Trust Fund supported construction completion of over 29 modernization projects. Currently, the Trust Fund is supporting construction of 5 lock and dam modernization projects. I would like to thank this committee for passing important policy changes contained in the Water Resources Reform and Development Act of 2014, particularly the cost share policy revision for Olmsted locks and dam, along with the 45% increase in the inland waterway diesel fuel tax, allowed for the trust fund to be leveraged from less than $200 million per year to a $400 million a year annual program. That cost share changed from 50% trust fund and 50% general fund to 15% from the trust fund and 85% from the general fund has accelerated the completion of the Olmsted project while saving the taxpayers' money. Let me explain. The accelerated and steady funding for Olmsted locks and dam allowed the Corps to dedicate the project last August in 2018. 4 years ahead of schedule, and at a completion cost $330 million below what the Corps had projected. Not only did the cost share change help Olmsted, but it also allowed construction to proceed on 3 other priority navigation projects: Lower Monongahela, Kentucky Lock, and Chickamauga Lock. This cost share change also allowed for the initiation of the major rehab project on LaGrange Lock on the Illinois Waterway. Unfortunately, our inland waterway system continues to deteriorate. Currently, there are more than 15 other authorized high-priority inland projects awaiting construction. With Olmsted's completion and no additional policy changes and improvements, only about $230 million a year will be available for inland waterway project modernization. That's the $115 million in trust fund revenues times 2 at 50%. At this funding level, many of these projects won't start construction during the next 20 years, greatly increasing the probability of catastrophic failure somewhere in the system and causing the system to further deteriorate. In the Water Resources Development Act of 2016, Congress changed the cost share model for funding construction of deep draft ports from 45 to 50 feet, from 50% non-federal sponsor and 50% federal government to a 25% non-federal sponsor and a 75% general funds in order to accomplish this important work. By doing the same thing with the Inland Waterways Trust Fund, adjusting the cost share to 25% trust fund and 75% general funds, the Inland Navigation Capital Program can remain operating around the $400 million per year level that has been achieved since the cost share change at Olmsted. This recommended 25-75 cost share will allow the Corps to accelerate the construction program and provide funding visibility going forward, which will greatly improve the efficiency of the Corps program. As you move forward with infrastructure legislation, I encourage you to consider this proposal to adjust the cost share for construction of inland waterways projects. That concludes my oral statement, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.